Good evening and welcome to the very first edition of Ancient Reality TV, the public access variety show curated by us for you, our viewers.
Tonight on Ancient Reality TV, we stir up a gracious ghost downtown, grill a tax expert Gracie McKenna, and learn why you will not find content such as this on public access television.
We're your hosts, Michael and Brooke Ashley. Join us for our first adventure.
For our first episode, we would like to take a few minutes to explain why you are watching this online and not on a television set with cable or bunny ear connection.
Beginning in the early 1970s, public access TV became a commonplace, free service provided by the cable companies thanks to both local and federal governments who sided with their citizens.
But then, in the 1980s, courts began to side in favor with cable companies who no longer wanted to provide the equipment, studio, and airspace for public access stations, and most cities lost their local public productions.
Miraculously, many stations hung on for a couple more decades, but eventually conglomerate cable companies dismantled free public access services across the nation.
But now that we're nearly a quarter of the way into the 21st century, the joke is on them. Cable cutting is becoming the norm, and your bunny ears are bent and broken under heaps of garbage in your garage.
Our intent here is not to gripe about the fate of public access stations, but to celebrate a rebirth of original free content online.
So here we are on the internet, providing a free public access variety show to you, our viewers.
But enough of that, we are on the web, and on the web we will stay.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. And without further ado, let's hop into our weekly Old Town Shakedown. Welcome to Old Town Shakedown, St. Augustine's source for
News.
news.
Beaches remain closed while drinking. Golfing remains open to the public. Talk about an essential business, right?
Fresh produce and food deliveries. 3 ancient reality favorites are the Purple Olive, Crave, and Curry's Market. Curry's Market is locally sourced produce from Florida delivered to your door through farmersmarketbox.com. If you're killing time on Instagram and want to order some produce, give Crave a follow at Crave St. Augustine for more details on how to order and pick up produce at their food truck downtown. The Purple Olive is also taking orders over the phone. They have everything from toilet paper to delicious family meals. Simply call before 2 p.m. for same-day pickup. More details are on their website. And finally, if you have more time these days, you can grow your own food with the help of Southern Horticulture. They're taking phone orders only. Just call and pick up your plants.
And speaking of gardening, lovers are here and they're growing fast. Our most effective extermination method is stomping. We suggest you get rid of them now before they reach their average size of 6 to 12 feet.
Oh, wow. In other news, boat ramps are ramping up. Please remember there are 11 public boat ramps in St. Augustine. Spread the love.
And if you've been downtown as of late, you surely have noticed the increasing amount of PUD garage signs. We recently caught up with the creator of those signs, Sue Agresta, and she told us about the origin of them and the current outlook for the proposed development on Riberia Street.
There is a piece of property that abuts King Street and Riberia Street. It's sort of wrapped around the winery, and a PUD is a planned unit development. They wanted to have 75% lot coverage and so many hotel rooms and so many apartments that it would have raised the traffic on Riberia Street 42%, according to their own figures. So one of the neighbors, her name is Lauren Guyver, who's a graphic artist, and I decided to make these signs. And we printed 100 of them. There's only 2 left. And I was very pleased with that because it showed, that people said, all right, you're going to build this, obviously, but not so intensely.
And finally, this may come as a surprise, but we are not practicing doctors. However, we do try our best to practice common sense. This week's common sense advice is to wear a face mask. Don't have one? No problem. Our enlisted resident crafter, Julia McKenna, will show you how to simply make your own.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm going to teach you how to make a no-sew face mask so no needle needed. It's as easy as pie. So all you need is 2 hair bands, probably the bigger kind, and a bandana that is square. Okay, so you take your bandana and you put it out, and then you're going to flip it over, and you're going to fold it so it has room to cover your mouth, but not super wide. Then you're going to put on the rubber bands. So you're going to put them on at the end and only put them on once. And you want to slide them so that when you fold these over, it will match pretty nicely. So then you're going to fold your 2 pieces over, and you're going to take the 2 hair ties and put the mask on. Then you have a no-sew face mask.
Well, isn't that nice, Brooke? And that'll do it for tonight's Old Town Shakedown. Have a good night, folks. And now for our feature segment, Brooke Ashley took advantage of the empty streets to help us spot some uncommon ghosts in our quaint little ghost town.
Roll the clip, Bob! We are here downtown St. Augustine, seizing the opportunity to engage with our local ghost and goblin community. We have just received information from a credible deceased source that an unidentified ghost is being marginalized and occupying a section of Charlotte Street in our very own ancient city.
With the city streets empty due to the coronavirus pandemic, the local spirits finally have their city back to themselves. Ancient Reality's investigative team sees this as a prime opportunity to locate the more modest ghosts haunting the vacant town.
I could really use a cigar right now. Can you hold this real quick? Ooh!
After an exhausting ghost hunt, Brooke Ashley got a hankering for a delicious cigar.
Well, they're not open, but I do think I see somebody inside, and I definitely smell cigar smoke. Excuse me, sir. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions?
Sure.
First off, that is a very unique hat for Florida. Second off, have you seen any ghosts and or goblins roaming these streets as of late?
I'm the only ghost around these parts. Except it's kind of hard to haunt when all you got's a cigar and cigar smoke. My name's Old Willie Boy.
It seems we found our ghost, and although we were initially startled, he appears to be friendly and welcoming of our presence.
Pleased to meet somebody from the living. Been almost a century, almost 100 years, almost 10 decades.
Old Willie Boy invited us for a little chat to tell the living his story for the very first time.
Are you saying that you died in the 20s?
That's right, 1920s. I was buried in debt to the casino, and now I'm just buried in this foundation here. Feels like yesterday. Only thing they was pouring in this town was whiskey and concrete. Myself, I came down here to build the Bridge Alliance. But boy, I couldn't stay away from that Milano casino. Whoever tells you they weren't gambling over there is lying to your face. I owed that casino a lot of dollars, so they put me in this building here.
St. Augustine enjoyed a construction boom shortly after World War I. The new Bridge of Lions was built to connect the expanding Davis Shores neighborhood. And just north of this rapid development was the Grand Milano Casino, which brought concerts, vaudeville acts, and parties to the area. Although casinos of the early 20th century did not officially have gambling on the books, Old Willie Boy's account noticeably disputes this claim.
May I ask why you have not discussed this with anyone of the living yet?
It's kind of difficult when you're buried underneath a cigar shop and all you can do is walk around and smoke cigars. Not a single person noticed anything out of the ordinary. Meanwhile, Rasmussen over at the lighthouse, he gets covered with tourists because of his cigar odor.
Peter Rasmussen was one of St. Augustine's first lighthouse keepers and known as a cigar connoisseur. Many guests to the lighthouse still smell his cigar smoke on the property. It appears that Old Willie Boy was assigned a similar role in his afterlife, but when his haunting locale became a popular cigar bar, his scent and odd appearance has gone unnoticed among the bar patrons for nearly a century. But now, with the city on lockdown, he can finally fulfill his ghostly role on Charlotte Street.
You do have a wonderful paranormal cigar scent.
Why, thank you, ma'am. I enjoy Newman's. Although I got here a little too late. I hear good things about the local cigar factory. I hear that they closed it down before I got here, and they're going to turn it into a Hilton hotel.
That is true, Old Willie Boy. That is true.
That's a shame.
The old Soya Carcaba cigar factory on Riberia Street has indeed been purchased by a local hotel developer. It will meet a similar unfortunate fate, so much like many properties here in St. Augustine, cursed with the Hilton Hotel brand.
Well, it truly has been a pleasure, Old Willie Boy, and we hope to see you soon.
Until next time.
Back to you, Chuck.
That's the last we saw of Old Willie Boy during our investigation. We feel he deserves respect and recognition. Next time you're at a cigar bar downtown, sniff for that old Newman cigar scent and let Old Willie Boy pay you a visit. Remember, all apparitions are equal and every ghost deserves to haunt.
He really was a pleasure.
And now we would like to introduce one of our favorite installments, Grilling with Gracie. Gracie McKenna is an accounting wizard at Ancient City Accounting, and she invited us over for some burgers. We brought our cameras and talked to her about the coronavirus stimulus package and what that means for us as individuals. Ching, 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 ching.
Sorry, Old Willie Boy. There doesn't seem to be anything in there for you ghosts.
Ah, poor old Willie. But it seems there's money for most living souls. So let's find out what Gracie thinks we need to know. This is Grilling with Gracie.
Hi, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the checks you'll be receiving from the IRS in the next several weeks due to the coronavirus. There's really nothing additional you need to do to receive these checks as long as you've filed your 2018 or 2019 tax return. The money will come into your bank account you used when filing that return. If you're single and under the $75,000 threshold, you'll receive the $1,200 stimulus check in the next several weeks. If you're married, filing jointly, you have to be under a $150,000 threshold. After that, there's a phase out. And if you have children, any dependent under the age of 17... Yes. will be giving you an additional $500 with that stimulus check. You'll also get a break on paying the taxes. If you had money due on the April 15th tax, you now have until July 15th. You actually have until July 15th to file that return as well. In other good news, mortgages can be suspended for up to 180 days. Most lenders have an easy button when you log in to select that you've been affected and suspend the mortgage. If you're renting, landlords cannot pursue evictions for the next 4 months. If you need additional money now and you have a retirement account, you can take the money out without paying the 10% penalty for early withdrawals. Older people are not required to take their required minimum distributions from those retirement accounts either. If you've already started collecting unemployment, that typically only covers 40% of someone's check. The federal government is now coming in to supplement that, offering you up to $600 more a week, trying to get that number closer to 80% of your former income. Student loans do not have to be paid until September 30th with an automatic extension. This is how the economic stimulus package has affected individuals. Next time, we'll discuss options for local businesses. That's been Grilling with Gracie.
Wow, some great stuff in there, and I am not talking about those burgers.
Oh yeah, those were some mighty tasty burgers. We will certainly be back to her place to eat. I mean, learn more about finances.
And now my favorite part of this show is our musical showcase.
This week we have the new single, High School Kids, from Lonus's debut album.
The mastermind behind Lowness is a Florida native with deep roots here in St. Augustine, Lewis Johnson. You might recognize him from the hit television series My Life as Liz.
It's upside down.
No, it's not, because it says, see? It's like that.
He's upside down.
Well, then the words are upside down.
High School Kids by Lonus.
Overwhelming feelings of nostalgia. And you had mentioned that you felt like you even might have peaked in high school. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I think honestly it's just that I have this image of high school and that those years is so carefree, and I seem to like romanticize about this idea and this
and
concept.
life just flies by in an instant. It can be over like that.
Back home they're talking, they say that you're not the same.